Good morning. I'm here today to go over your directions for today's assignment. Today's assignment is called the Digital Notebook on the Levels of Organization in Ecology. So it says today you will be completing this digital notebook on the levels of organization found in an ecosystem. Watch the directions video, which is what you're listening to right now if you get stuck. There's 5 slides in total, and I'm going to show you right now how to kind of go through and do this activity. So right where it says your name, you're going to click on it, and you're going to add your name and that little section. And then it's going to go through basically all the levels that you learned yesterday. So if you look here, you see one Nemo. So that would be an example of, you would double click. You would double click and write organism, okay, because there's just one of them. Next, number 2, the second largest level, a group of Nemos together. So Nemo and Marlin, okay, that constitutes a what? That would be a population. And then go so on and so forth. Okay, so they're your different levels. Next, on slide number 3, you need to define for me the difference between an abiotic factor and a biotic factor. If you know your word roots from yesterday that I went over, you should be having no problem deciphering which one is living and which one is non-living. So look at the picture and kind of pull apart examples of abiotic factors as well as biotic factors. And I would say try and name at least 2 in each of those. Continuing, you're going to give me a definition of a population and a community, and then give me 1 to 2 examples of populations found in this diagram, and then what types of things make up the community in this diagram. Okay, and you're going to just list all of them respectively in these 2 respective boxes here. The next slide is another graphic, and I ask you, what is a habitat? So again, you can go right to Google or go from your notes yesterday. Okay, habitat is where an organism lives. Okay, so list all the possible habitats that you can see in this illustration. Okay, so be specific. And then the last slide is an overview slide. Okay, so this is kind of like your discussion questions that we would do if we were in a lab. So define an ecosystem. Through abiotic factors may not always be easily observed within the ecosystem. Provide an example of an abiotic factor that could have a devastating effect on an ecosystem. Okay, so think about in nature, right? What is one abiotic factor that, if completely eliminated, it would significantly impact that area? Number 3, provide 2 to 3 examples of how communities depend on abiotic factors within an ecosystem. And then lastly, 2 or 3 different ways that biotic factors can affect an ecosystem. Okay, so go through, answer those questions. A pretty straightforward lab for today. Again, your discussion questions, and then pretty much the same graphic on each of these slides. You just have different questions and the different levels on that slide. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your teacher. But again, this is your directional video for today's assignment. Have a great day.